I'm glad, first of all, that you're the first person to say spin-off. That's because mostly people are still stuck in the sequel. So we were never thinking of making a sequel, at least not me. Definitely because the first film did well, so I don't know whether Pooja was thinking about it.
Really.
But because that's usually a norm. But I never, when I was writing for Tere Bin Laden, I was not writing it thinking about it like a continuation. And there can't be any continuation once Ali is in Pakistan. In America. But when Osama died, because there were kind of you can say rumors within the press that we might make a sequel. But when Osama died, there was this prominent journalist who wrote an article in Bombay Times. I think that's the only unpaid article of ours in Bombay Times, and which got prominent back page. So I'm thankful to him in a way. Where he wrote that that Bin Laden is dead and so is the sequel. So sequel was in his head, I guess, but he wrote that. So that was the starting point. Because I thought that Bin Laden's death actually so prominent. It's not only affecting America or the Middle East or the terrorist world, but it's spilling over even to Bollywood. That we are reacting for a very small film, because Tere Bin Laden was an independent film worth hardly $1 million, and it did whatever it did, but it was not something which would be linked to a political world event, but it was. So that's the point where I started thinking about this spin-off. And basically this spin-off is a reflection, a reaction to the post-Bin Laden world. So like first Tere Bin Laden was the post-9/11 world. I think this is about the post-Bin Laden world. And one thing which occurred to me immediately, which I want to add here, is that this film, actually the analogy of this film can be, I think, correctly described with the film called Good, Bad and Ugly. So basically there are three forces: the good, which is represented by Manish; the bad, which is Sikandar; the ugly, not in terms of the look, but ugly in the sense of the the convoluted point of view, is of the terrorist, which is represented by Khalili, which is played by Piyush Mishra. So, and Osama is symbolically the pot of gold in that particular analogy. So that's what the spin-off is all about, the post-Bin Laden world, and how these three forces descend upon our pot of gold and try to make use of it. One, to prove that he's dead; one, to prove that he's alive; and one who's just trying to make his living, like myself as a director. I'm still in cashing Osama Bin Laden there, I think. I think my problem is that which Pooja out here will know, that I don't have a filter in my head. So when I'm sitting in a situation, I always am laughing and looking at a funny side to it for some reason. I think my viewfinder is distorted. They are those mirrors, right, which are distorted mirrors. I think that's what the inner brain is. So I never think of it like that. I see it like this only. Every day, every morning when I pick up the newspaper and I read news stories, I'm trying to read between the lines what is funny in them. Because I think the real world is really, really funny. And the whole creation of Osama Bin Laden, or America's war on terror, I think is very, very funny and hypocritical to a certain extent. So these are things, because somebody said that comedy comes out of when you see things from your brain, and tragedy comes out when you see it from your heart. I think I don't see it from the heart, I just analyze it.
See, I think when I heard the first, the one-liner on the film many years ago, I think it was in 2007, when Abhishek came to my office and said, this is what I want to make. I thought it was absolutely ridiculous, because I sat up on my chair and said, this is also quite fantastic, provided we can cast a person who looks exactly like Osama Bin Laden, and we're able to pull that particular part of the film.
They were after my life for the longest time for me to play this character. What's wrong with you? मैं तो story लाया था, अपना सिर पे लाया था touch करी में रख के. I was like, मैं मुर्गा ढूंढता हूँ.
So when he made the first short film to show that this everyone can play Osama and he looks a lot like him, and put a little crew together, we commissioned him to go ahead and write the screenplay, and it went through several iterations. But I think eventually the product that you saw, the first film also, was, according to me, I think Abhishek is really, he's only, this is his third film, but he's probably one of the finest creative minds that I've seen in a long time. And at that point, obviously, we didn't know he was making his first film. When I was looking at the screenplay and also looking at the way it was shot, it was a difficult film to have made. But the success of it and the support that we got from people who saw the film encouraged us to go ahead and make the second one. The second one actually was an idea that we discussed at the Goa Film Festival. Pradyuman was with us, we talked about it. And we were actually working on another screenplay together at that stage. And together, he was writing it.
Yeah, he was doing the dialogue in that.
Yeah, so we were talking about that, and then suddenly he was like, listen, I have this idea. And it was probably the only possible sequel idea or a spin-off idea that could have come out of a film like Tere Bin Laden. So we said, let's run with this and see where this goes. So I think, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I think I'm quite proud and happy to be associated with a film which is not run-of-the-mill, regular and low-level comedy. It's very intelligent. It goes into a space which is absolutely outrageous and yet manages to kind of appeal to a larger segment of our society, the Indian Hindi-going audience, without making it too highly intellectual or dumbed down. So I think he's managed to bring a very, very good balance to this subject.
This whole thing started back in 2007, and that time I was working in Calcutta, Kolkata, and I remember Abhishek giving me a call and saying that I'm making a film, would you be interested in it? And I was like, what do I have to do? Do I have to assist you? He said, no, I want you to act. So I came and he showed me a video and he said that this is what I want you to do, like play Osama Bin Laden. I was like, no man, I don't want to do this. He's like, I freaked out. I was like, I'm not going to be part of a biographical film on Osama Bin Laden, for Christ's sake. And that was also my first film and would definitely become my last also. So he was like, no, this is not what I want you to do. And he gave me like a one-liner and he said that you have to play Osama look-alike and he's a poultry farmer and all that from Pakistan. That's what caught my attention and I said, wow, this sounds very interesting and it might just look good on screen. And as Pooja said that, then the script went through a lot of iterations and a lot of changes and it came into existence in the way that you saw it. So my preparation, mentally I was kind of prepared because I came down in 2007 I think and we did this test shoot back in 2007 just to see if I look like Pooja said and it kind of, I was like 50% there and then so then that's where I was mentally kind of there that already if this film gets made maybe they will call me and I'll do it. So I was mentally kind of preparing myself to do this character. But then came the shocker when there were dialogues came into existence and they said that you have to speak Punjabi and it will be Pakistani Punjabi. So it's very important to get that dialect right, because Punjabi spoken there is kind of mixed with Urdu and has a different intonation also to it. Anyway, so that was one bit of it. The other bit, which as Pooja said and Abhishek said, was nailing the Osama Bin Laden because if I don't look like him, and I think Vikram Gaikwad, who is the makeup designer, a lot of credit goes to him because he designed it. In fact, I think he's the first person who gave him confidence that I might look like him. And that test shoot kind of got us there like 50% that yes, this boy might just look like Osama. And then he told me to lose weight. So that was the biggest problem, lose weight. Like I actually went underweight, like 63 kilos at that time. I had to lose a lot of weight. And then, yes, a lot of videos were seen. Yes, a lot of articles were read. But mostly it was visual impact that I had to bring on screen. So we did that. I had to pick up a bit of Arabic as well because there's this whole speech that I had to say. And if you see in the film, when you go back and see it, you realize that I have not played Osama that much. But that one scene, that one critical scene was very important for me to nail because that would have, kind of tell the audience that this is an authentic kind of a tape. And if I would have not looked the part, if I have not acted like Osama Bin Laden, then I think this film would have not worked. And they kept me in fact in isolation, I was dumped into this one corner of Mumbai, and I had no clue. I was very new to Mumbai, which was a great thing. I think that really helped me stay focused on my character. I was living with a rooster. I was asked to speak only the lehja that the Pakistani speaking. I was only wearing salwar kameez. The only time I would change salwar kameez was when I would go to gym. It was very embarrassing running in that salwar kameez in that treadmill. People look at me, and I asked him, "Can I please wear shorts when I'm at least, So he's very strict on me. In fact, though I played a very comical role, I was very serious on set. I was not allowed to fool around and everything. It was like a jail for me, to be honest. But I think that paid off. All that hard work, all that anger, angst, agitation just shows on screen because I'm so focused on the character that I've forgotten about everything. And now when I look back, and I thank Abhishek and I thank Pooja also a lot of times that, it's probably one of the finest characters that has come alive on screen. Nobody could have imagined something like this. Not because I've played it, but I would say that I can compare this character to a Gabbar in some sense, or probably a Borat in some sense, or an Ali G that Sacha Roy does quite a lot. But it's as big, and he created it. Thank you.